On February 15th, 2014, Baltimore Ravens halfback Ray Rice was caught physically assaulting his fiancée in an Atlantic City hotel. It seemed like it was not just the end of his career, but of his status as a public figure. Which leads to the question, in an age where everything is caught on video, is there a second act?
Hey, welcome to the Press Box Chronicles with Jeff Pearlman.
Hey, welcome to the Press Box Chronicles, the show where a cranky middle-aged sports writer who has seen it all, that is me, takes you behind the scenes and into the stories. I am your host, Jeff Pearlman. And I'm a fan of props. And sitting before me right here is the ultimate prop. It is a Baltimore Ravens football helmet. But it's not only a Baltimore Ravens football helmet. It is a dusty, kind of smelly Baltimore Ravens football helmet that rested in my son Emmett's room on the top shelf. And if you look closely, it is autographed by former Ravens halfback Ray Rice. And before I moved to California, I lived in the town of New Rochelle, New York, which is the hometown of Ray Rice. And back in 2012, a friend of mine organized a charity event, and one of the auctioned items was a Ray Rice helmet. And I remember my wife coming home with this, and me thinking, oh, that's cool. Ray Rice, career trajectory, Hall of Fame. Maybe this helmet will be really cool one day. Maybe this will be amazing. And what I want to talk about today on the Press Box Chronicles isn't just the rise, fall, and rebirth of Ray Rice, but sort of what happens when figures in the modern age have their absolute worst moment, their lowest moment, their most horrific moment caught on tape, and whether you can rebound or whether you're just stuck and frozen forever in who you were at that point in time. And that's what we're going to get into today on Press Box Chronicles. So before I moved to California, I lived in New Rochelle, New York. And New Rochelle is an awesome, awesome town. It's not far from New York City. You can take a train in. It's a quick drive. New Rochelle, it's leafy. It's a great place to ride your bike or take a walk. It's good restaurants, etc., etc. And when I was living in New Rochelle, the city's favorite son, by far, no close second, was Baltimore Ravens halfback Ray Rice. And the reason people loved Ray Rice wasn't just that he made the NFL. It was that he kind of came to embody everything great about the scrappiness of New Rochelle. New Rochelle is a scrappy-ass city. In a way, it's a weird place. It's kind of segregated financially and to certain degrees racially. It also, at the same time, is really, really diverse, profoundly diverse. And it's just this place that I just loved. And Ray Rice, born on January 22nd, 1987, he came 6 weeks early into the world. And his mom talked about from the time early on in her pregnancy, she would just hear kick, kick, kick. Said there's never been a baby who's kicked as much as a little Ray Rice. And he grows up dirt poor in New Rochelle, two to a bed. The neighborhood is called the Hollow in New Rochelle. And when Ray was 1, his father, Calvin, was shot mistakenly by a drive-by shooter. His dad had been a supermarket stock clerk. Ray is the oldest of 4 kids. And Ray Rice, from the beginning, was a unique little bird. He walks at 9 months old. By 1.5, he's potty trained. At 2, he's riding a two-wheeler, a bike, a red and black bike, a Huffy. It's like a line from a Jay-Z song. He's starting to go over makeshift ramps, jumping over ramps, landing on his elbow, bloody elbow, gets up, do it again, scrapes on his face, comes home every day with scrapes and blood everywhere. At age three, he's doing pull-ups on the water pipes in the hall outside his public housing unit. At 5, he starts begging his mom to let him play football, and he starts playing with kids who are twice his age on the concrete outside the house. And if you look at old Ray Rice photos from the beginning, scratches on his face, knees, holes in his jeans, blah, blah, blah. His mom once said, "My son had muscles when he was 5. which might be impossible, but maybe not. When Ray Rice was a third grader, he's sweeping the floor at the Big Three barbershop on Main Street, getting $1 and $5 tips. When he's not working, he's running the stairs. They lived in the 6th floor apartment, and he's running up and down, up and down. Then he goes out to the monkey bars. He's doing pull-ups. There's a specialness about Ray Rice from the very, very beginning. Something about him that is different. Something about him that has a spark. His cousin Anthony once told the Baltimore Sun, from the time he was little, Ray loved to hit. He was really, really aggressive. He depleted guys. He knocked them off their feet. Other teams that you would have moms who cried and asked the refs, could you please take him out of the game? And the refs would say, ma'am, that boy is younger than everyone on the field. When he's 12 years old playing Pop Warner, Ray Rice is ejected from a game because he hit he was playing nose tackle and he hit the quarterback too hard on the other team. And he's just this phenomenal, hard-nosed, hard charged, aggressive, I want to make the NFL, I want to be a football player for the time he's little. And yes, he has his problems. In 8th grade, he's growing up. Ray Rice takes a pellet gun, puts it in his backpack, goes to middle school. Security guard finds it. The police are called. He gets a 1-week suspension, a 1-year probation. He's excluded from middle school graduation. He gets 100 hours of community service. And his mom says the one thing that tears his heart out. She goes, honey, you are not going to be able to play football if you do this. He's like, no. He goes on to high school, New Rochelle High School. And Ray Rice, and this is when I moved to New Rochelle, is a super duper duper star in high school. New Rochelle is an enormous school. It's a pretty big city. And everyone knows about Ray Rice from the beginning. And as a sophomore in 2003, Ray Rice leads the team to a state championship. He has one game in 2004 where he runs for 462 yards on 42 carries. He is just elite. Elite. He's playing for the Huguenots of New Rochelle High School. He's one of the best players in the state. He's recruited by a ton of teams, and he goes to Rutgers. And as soon as Ray Rice gets to Rutgers, something changes. This is the Greg Schiano Rutgers. Ray Rice is put in a backfield with Brian Leonard, another future NFL player, and they're just awesome. As a freshman, Ray Rice starts, runs for more than 1,000 yards, 11,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Rutgers has their first winning season in 13 years, make a bowl game. As a sophomore, Ray Rice, 1,794 yards, 20 touchdowns. They make another bowl game. Junior year, Ray Rice runs for 2,012 yards, 24 touchdowns. In my opinion, and I was a biased guy back then, I thought, why is he not winning the Heisman Trophy? Like, this is ridiculous. And he came in seventh in Heisman voting that year. But I remember just everyone in New Rochelle being like, Ray Rice, Ray Rice, Ray Rice. This is the guy, Ray Rice. And all along, as this is happening, everyone loves him. When he comes home to New Rochelle, he's kind to everyone. Everyone. White, black, young, old, football fan, not football fan. Ma'am, can I help you with this? Do you need help with this? Sir, can I sign an autograph? Mr. Rice, can you? Sure. He talks to schools. He helps kids. He shows up randomly at high school football practices just to help out. He is the kid you want as your son, Ray Rice. That is who he is. And in 2008, the Baltimore Ravens, with their first-round pick, take Joe Flacco, quarterback, University of Delaware. Second-round pick, Ray Rice, running back, Rutgers. And the only reason he slipped to the second round is because he was 5'8", 210 pounds. And from the beginning, Ray Rice is a phenomenon with the Baltimore Ravens. He doesn't start as a rookie. He runs for 454 yards as a backup. But in 2009, he takes over for Willis McGahee. He carries 254 times for 1,339 yards. And he's just awesome. From the beginning, season opener against the Chiefs, he runs for 108 yards on 19 carries. And week 3, he scores his first professional touchdown. And he's just great. 2010, 1,200 yards. 2011, 1,300 yards. In 2012, in the offseason, he signs a 5-year, $35 million deal with the Ravens. And the thing is, the Baltimore Ravens don't just give him this money and lock him up for this time period because he's a great football player, which he is. They do it because he becomes Mr. Baltimore. And that is not an exaggeration. Ray Rice loves Baltimore. Baltimore loves Ray Rice. He is the guy. It's not Flacco. It's not Ray Lewis. It's not Ed Reed. When the Ravens front office and the Ravens communication team needs someone to go to Baltimore to be involved, to hand out turkeys on Thanksgiving, to hand out gifts on Christmas. This is your guy. This is your guy. And there was this moment that I read about in the Baltimore Sun, 2009. There's a 51-year-old Ravens diehard named Paul Pelfrey who's dying of cancer. And his last wish is to meet his hero, Ray Rice. And you've seen videos of athletes meeting kids, athletes meeting sick kids. And it's usually this: hey, good to meet you. You bend down, you shake your hand. Man, good luck to you. Do you want me to sign your jersey? Hey, man, God bless, big ups. It's over, right? We've seen that over and over with some exception. Ray Rice, this guy lives in Eastwood in Maryland. Ray Rice knocks on his front door. He doesn't even know he's coming. Hey, I'm Ray. What? Paul Pelfrey engulfs him in a hug. 2.5 hours Ray Rice spends at Paul Pelfrey's house. This guy who's wearing his Ravens 27 jersey. And Ray later said to the Sun, I wanted him to get to know me as a person, not just about football. I wanted him to be this to be a remembrance that he would take with him. Paul Pelfrey, who worked as a maintenance supervisor for Lockheed Martin, it means everything. And he's crying, and they hug at the end, and he dies 2 weeks later. And he was Baltimore. I know he was from New Rochelle, and he was New Rochelle, and he got the key to the city of New Rochelle, but he was Baltimore. He named his daughter Raven, Rayven, after the team's mascot. He has Baltimore tattooed on his forearms. The mayor of Baltimore is Stephanie Rawlings Blake. They become friends. He appears with her at charity events. He does football camps for disadvantaged kids. He dresses up as Santa Claus at he's the guy. And in 2012, the Ravens make the Super Bowl. Ray Rice runs for 1,443 yards, 9 touchdowns. In the Super Bowl, the famous Super Bowl where the lights go out, he wins the Super Bowl ring, 20 carries, 59 yards, 4 catches, 19 yards. And at the end of the year, the NFL, when the NFL Network ranks their top 100 players, he's 13th. And everything is working out. And what we're looking at here isn't just one of the best players in the NFL, but the most beloved players in the NFL. And even when the 2013 season doesn't go as planned, and it kind of banged up, Ray Rice only runs for 660 yards. This is the guy. Crown Prince of New Rochelle, Crown Prince of Baltimore, a reputation that is as sterling as silver. And then one of the saddest downfalls, and really most pathetic and jarring downfalls I've ever witnessed, happens, and we all have the misfortune of seeing it. So it's Valentine's Day 2014. And Ray Rice, he's 27 years old at the time, and his 26-year-old fiancée, Janae, both natives of New Rochelle, New York, are at the Revel Casino Hotel in Atlantic City with 2 other couples celebrating Valentine's Day. And there was some great reporting done by ESPN on this, and I just want to give credit to ESPN for the work. It was intense. They all have dinner, and they have wine, and they go to the casino's main bar, which is called The Social, and they split a bottle of Patron tequila, and it's Rice's favorite. And it's now 2 a.m., and Ray and Janae are both wasted, and they're arguing, and Ray Rice follows his fiancée into a hotel elevator. And there were witnesses who saw them arguing and heard them arguing about the guest list for their upcoming wedding. And I do want to say, as someone who's been married for quite a long time, the guest list is kind of stressful. If you didn't make my guest list, I do apologize. And they were also arguing about some text messages that Ray apparently had received that night from a woman. You don't want that happening. Anyway, something happens. And that night, Janae and Ray were arrested and charged with assault after this physical altercation. And it sucks because when you're in the spotlight, when you are a Ray Rice or any celebrity, as soon as you get arrested, it's going to be news. And I actually, as a divergence, I actually spent a brief amount of time as a cops reporter in Nashville. And I literally every morning would go down to the police station and scan the arrest records from the night before, looking for country singers who got arrested. That was just part of your job. Same thing goes with sports. If you see a Ray Rice on the arrest record, it's not going to be hidden. And the arrest happens and it sucks. But something bigger happens. On February 19th, so less than a week after this happens, TMZ posts a video of Ray and Janae hitting each other in an elevator. And then Ray Rice punching his fiancée in the face, her falling, hitting her head on the elevator handrail and losing consciousness. And then him dragging her out of the elevator. It is not a good look. In fact, that sounds too simple. It is fucked up times 1,000. You don't need to hear this from me. You don't hit a woman. I mean, you don't hit anyone, but you definitely don't hit a woman. You don't hit your wife. There's no possible circumstance where it's like, well, she, blah, blah, blah. This goes without saying. Before you young viewers out there, this is not something you do. Ever, 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 ever. And what followed as soon as this got out was one of the great shit shows in modern sports, but also a real problem for Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner. On March 27th, a grand jury indicts Ray Rice on third-degree aggravated assault with a possible jail sentence of 3 to 5 years, a fine of up to $15,000. 6 weeks after the incident happens, Ray Rice and Janae Palmer get married. And the charges are dropped because, number one, she doesn't want to pursue anything because this is now her husband and she swears she loves him and this was a bad moment for both of us, but blah, 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 blah. And he agrees to undergo court-supervised counseling. And Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, holds a press conference because Ray Rice was only suspended for 2 games of the 2014 season. And the backlash against the NFL and against Roger Goodell is rightfully intense. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, have you not seen the video? Did you not see him beating the crap out of his fiancée? 2 games? Is that how little you guys care? And I do want to diverge for a minute and say the NFL is bullshit and Roger Goodell is bullshit. They've never cared about anything. They only care about image. It's just true. I'm being honest about it. They want to sell you these. They don't want you to worry about CTE or domestic violence or anything that has to do with anything hurting the shield. Just being honest about that. Goodell later acknowledges he didn't get it right, etc., etc. Well, here's the thing. The Baltimore Ravens wind up cutting Ray Rice, and he never plays in the NFL again. And it is this crazy, crazy whirlwind. And Rice winds up filing a formal grievance against the NFL for wrongful termination. And he demands $3.5 million because, number one, he was already punished by the league, he's saying, and then you actually release me. And they wind up settling the league and the NFL. And even though we don't hear the terms, Rice apparently won most of the money. And it's kind of wild because in New Rochelle, where I don't know how much my wife paid for this helmet, but this helmet had value. Ray Rice, holy shit, a Ray Rice signed helmet. Here's son here. Like, we honestly debated which garbage do we throw this in. I'm not kidding. We debated. This was displayed in our house somewhere. And it was like, yeah, never mind about that. And even now, I had to get the helmet. We have it, but it's like way up in a shelf. Ray Rice, in a flash, went from hero to not just zero, but pariah. Whereas like, oh, isn't Ray Rice from New Rochelle? And you're like, the Lou Gehrig once lived here. Like, it got really, really, really bad. And that kind of was it for Ray Rice. His NFL career was over. His fame was over. You'd see him in New Rochelle sometimes helping out with the high school football team. But you were like, I thought this guy was going to the Hall of Fame. Now, not only that, I thought this guy was one of the most decent human beings ever. And now we're watching video over and over again of him beating his wife. His career is over. His reputation is ruined. He's going for anger management counseling. And that's it. And I have to say, what has transpired since is not something, and I say this happily, I would have ever predicted. If you do a newspapers.com search for Ray Rice, and by the way, I just want to say newspapers.com, the best $100 you'll ever spend in your life, even if you're not a journalist, and they're not paying me to say that. If you do a newspapers.com search for Ray Rice, the main things that come out are Ravens running back Rice arrested after argument. Ray Rice, fiance, arrested in New Jersey. Ravens suggested I apologize for my part. Ray Rice's wife says team didn't tell her what to say, but gave general script. Like, it is bad, 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 bad. It is a lot of bad stuff about Ray Rice and what happened back more than a decade ago. And honest to God, I was like, I just thought, what if you're Ray Rice, what do? Maybe you change your name to Leon Bernstein. Maybe you move to a different country. Maybe you move far, far away. Maybe you just become a pastry chef. What do? And he started showing up at New Rochelle High School in his hometown. And really what he did was he turned for the embrace of a hometown. And in New Rochelle, he was so beloved because people remembered the great Ray Rice. And the guy, again, who was giving away stuff and there as a Santa and there hugging kids and helping kids out. And he winds up working as the running back coach at New Rochelle High School, which is a football powerhouse. As a coach, he's awesome. And he has kids. And everyone says, this guy's a great dad. And he goes to anger management. And he does something that not enough people do, which is he says, I fucked up. Me, right here, this is on me. And I'm working hard to make myself better. And anger management, I believe in it. Learning to be a better person, I believe in it. I look at that tape and I think, what kind of monster would do that? And he works on it, and he works on it. And he's beloved in New Rochelle High School. And in 2023, the Baltimore Ravens honor Ray Rice as a legend of the game in December against the Miami Dolphins. And somewhat recently, in Baltimore, he was named the head JV football coach of the Milford Mill Millers high school team in Baltimore. And I saw the school post about it on Instagram. And I saw a lot of the comments. Who would give this guy a second chance? And fuck this guy. And this is ridiculous. And oh, there's a wife beater getting another shot. And it actually really bothered me in the way it kind of bothers me when people still tear apart Michael Vick. I always say Michael Vick spent, I think it was 2 years in Leavenworth, maximum security prison, gets out and is busting his ass to bring awareness to animal cruelty. Like, isn't that what redemption is? Isn't that the point of redemption? And here's Ray Rice now, coaching a JV football team in Baltimore, his adopted city, still involved in charities in New Rochelle, a dad, a husband. And what I thought to be the death of a legacy actually turned out to be the rebirth of one. And that is a really, really remarkable and beautiful life turn. That's a wrap for this episode of Press Box Chronicles with Jeff Pearlman. Please leave a comment below on what stories you'd like to hear more about, or if there's a sports figure who interests you, just tell me. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and follow me on TikTok at Jeff Pearlman Author and Bluesky at Jeff Pearlman. Thank you for diving behind the scenes and digging into the stories. We will see you next time on Press Box Chronicles.